Hi, folks. For today, I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and that is to come up with a draft list for people that are in hockey leagues, such as Strat-o-Matic and PC Action Hockey. They always draft rookies after the first year, and I sort of been playing around with the draft list, and I thought I'll jump right in it. Again, this is going to vary. Everyone else has their own opinions. But for the upcoming Strat draft, I think number one, I would have someone like Macklin Celebrini. I'm thinking more of Strat-o-Matic when I do this. He's only 18 years old, so he's a lot younger than some of the other kids available in the draft. And I always use age as a bit of a precursor when I'm picking people. Here's his stats last year at the bottom. So he's at Boston University, 38 goals, 38 games, 32 goals, 32 assists, 64 points. 2024, he was drafted first overall. These are his stats from this year: 70 games, 25, 38, 63. I sort of have him projected as a first-line player. 6 feet, 190 his position. Born in 2006. He's 18 years old. And these ratings here is Hockey Watch, what he was rated in 2024, 2025. And in terms of the Hockey News, their U21 players, he's second overall. So he would be at the top of my draft list for this year's Strat draft. Second, now these next 3-4 guys you probably can put in any order. This is going to surprise a couple of people, but I would probably go with Matvei Michkov as the next pick. He was number one in Hockey News Rookie Watch in 2024. He's considered third in under 21. He's a 2004, so he's 20 years old. 26 goals, 63 points. He went 7th overall in the NHL draft, and I think he slid. And the reason he slid, he was in the KHL, so they'd have to wait for a little bit. Pretty dynamic hockey player. Him and Connor Bedard were fighting back for 1-2 during that particular draft. And I think if he hadn't have been a Russian, he probably would have went 2nd overall in the draft. So I've got Michkov as number 2. And this is probably the one that's surprising. It's Lane Hudson. Got him at number 3. He's probably going to win the Rookie of the Year simply because in Strat-o-Matic, I can see him being a 2 defense. And he's got 60 assists and 66 points. So he's a high-scoring player, 49 in Hockey Watch. So he sort of came out of the blue. He's ranked 30th in players that are under 20, just 5'9", 162. He went second round, 62nd overall. The only reason I got him in third behind these guys is these two will score goals in Strat-o-Matic. Hudson is going to be a great passer, a JKL passer, but he's not going to get credit for his 60 assists. So he's going to be a much better playmaker than everybody else in real life. But in Strat-o-Matic, you only get that JKL unless your league is using the Judy Goldberg passing chart. If we're using the passing chart, I would probably bump him up into number 2 ahead of Michkov. But if you're not, if you're just doing it, I would probably have him at 3. The other reason, too, is he doesn't take a lot of shots. He's not that great defensively. Kind of reminds me a little bit of, say, Erik Karlsson, an offensive D-man. Now, Karlsson got a 4-4 in Strat-o-Matic, and I think that 4 defense is not from playing defense. It's from taking so many shots. So his 4 offense is going to generate so many shots. But also in Strat-o-Matic, that defense generates shots. And I think that's why Karlsson got him, because I remember watching him in Ottawa, and he was paired with Mark Mathot, and he was not very good defensively, but he would consistently get a 4-4. Hudson doesn't take very many shots, maybe 1 shot per game. So he may not get the benefit. He could always be a 4-2, 4 offense, 2 defense type of D-man and a JKL passer. But like I said before, if you're playing with just this straight up game, a JKL passer, there's a whole bunch of them. So he's not going to be able to distinguish himself. So that's where I've got him slotted as number 3. Number 4, is going to be the goaltender Dustin Wolf. He was outstanding this year for Calgary. Played 53 goals, 2.64 goals against, 910 save percentage. Drafted in the 7th round, 2014, but in the Western League he was an all-star. And he was an all-star, I believe, in the American Hockey League, and he's worked his way up to an NHL. I think he's in top 3 for the Calder. He's an outstanding goaltender. If you're a little bit leery on taking goalies, then my number 5 would be Cutter Gauthier. Ranked 2nd in Hockey Watch in 2024. He had 20 goals, 24 assists, 44 points. He was picked number 5 over in the 2022 draft. I've got him slotted in at number 5, but he's another guy that can score goals. A lot of people worried about taking goalies early in the draft. I think Wolf is going to be fine. He didn't play on a great Calgary team and still came up with a pretty good save percentage. He's only 23 years old. You're going to have a goalie for a very long time, and it's tough getting goalies. So those are my top 5. Next player on the list is going to be William Smith from the San Jose Sharks. Smith is only 19 years old. He went 4th overall in 2023, 18 goals, 45 assists. He was number 3 on the Hockey News on 2004 Hockey Watch, 10th rated in terms of under 21 hockey players. Very good, very smart offensive player. He was outstanding for the Americans in the World Juniors. Sort of found his way late in the year, so his stats, I think, will be much better. And again, he's younger than Gauthier, Michkov. He's a 2005. These guys are 2004. So what I always like to do is, if you take a look at his stats, him and Gauthier, 20 and 44, 18, 45, what would Smith's stats look like next year as a 20-year-old? And he's probably better than Gauthier, so I can even see some people putting Smith here ahead of Gauthier. I've just got them here sticking to Hockey News rankings, but these are probably interchangeable in how you want to pick guys. So there's the top 6. Next is the big D-man from Detroit, Simon Edvinsson. He also could sneak into any of these slots here. Defensemen are tough to find, especially the good ones. The nice thing with him is he is big at 6'6", 209, and if he gets a decent defense rating in Detroit, he's probably going to have high intimidation numbers because of his size, 67 penalty minutes. He's 4th overall in Future Watch, 21 in the U21 NHL players. He went 6th overall in the draft, 31 assists, so he's going to be a pretty good passer. He's only 21, 31 in points at that age is pretty impressive. So Simon Edvinsson I have next as my number 7, but again, he could probably slide in ahead of any of these 3 guys if you really wanted a D-man. Next is somebody who is from the LA Kings, Brent Clark. I have coming in at number 8, and 5 goals, 28 assists, 33 points. He is 5th in 2024 Hockey Watch and 20th best under 21 player according to the Hockey News. He went 8th overall in 2021. He's an offensive defenseman. I'm not sure if he'll ever get high defensive numbers, but you never know. 33 points in 78 games. He's only 21 years old, and he's neck and neck with Edvinsson. I like the bigger D-man, so I have Edvinsson a little bit ahead of Clark because of the size at 6'6". Once he grows into his body, he could be 230 pounds, could be a very good defensive D-man that can intimidate. Next up is Artem Levshenov of the Chicago Blackhawks. And actually, after watching Demidov play for Montreal, I'm a little surprised Chicago didn't take Demidov to play with Bedard. They went with this guy. So he went number 2 overall in the NHL draft. He only played 18 games, so he may not even get a card. And he had 6 assists. He's ranked 24th by Hockey Watch. In 2025 NHL Future Watch, he's ranked number 5. But he's a big D-man at 6'2", 210. Going to get lots of ice time. In the American Hockey League, 50 games, he had 22 points. So I've got him a little bit behind these two guys in terms of offense. Again, he's only 19, so these guys are 21. They got a couple of years on Levchenov. So those are the top 9 guys I have so far. I'll probably do the top 20, and then I'll switch them out. So I'm just going to take these guys off. Again, there'd be Celebrini at 1, Bishkov at 2, Lane Hudson at 3, but Hudson could move 1 if you think he's going to be a good defensive player. Dustin Wolf, if you need a goalie, goalie's always in big demand. I always like to take goalies early if I can. Cutter Gauthier is going to be a goal scorer. William Smith's going to be a quality player. You may want to have him ahead of Gauthier if you do the age thing. So right now, Smith's 19. What would he be in a year? Would his stats be better? He probably would be better than Gauthier. So this might be a pick. Next, Edmondson, and he could be the prize of all of it. I could see him even going ahead of Smith and right after Wolf, because he's going to be a good big defenseman with good offensive skills. Brant Clark, an offensive D-man, and Levchenov rounds off the top 9 that I have. Coming in at number 10. I'll probably do the top 18, maybe the top 20. I know the league I'm in had 20 teams, so I might just stop at 20. Coming at number 10 is Shane Wright of the Seattle Kraken, a highly touted offensive center. The Kraken took him at number 4. He could have went number 1 in that particular year. In the American Hockey League last year, 47 points in 59 games, 79 points. He came on later on in the year, got a little bit more ice time, got off to a slow start. 44 points in 79 games. He's only 20 years old. 14 in 2020 for Hockey Future Watch, and 38 in the under 21. So Shane Wright comes in at number 10. Coming in at number 11, right behind him is Marco Kasper, the Detroit Red Wings. 37 points in 77 games. He went 8th overall in the 2022 draft. So 4 picks after Shane Wright. He had 35 points in 71 games. See, Shane Wright is a little bit more productive in the American Hockey League. 47 points in 59. And Casper would be my number 11. Coming in at number 12 is Frank Nazar, who looked really good for Chicago at the end of the year. I can even see him coming in ahead of Casper. I should have did a points per game to these two guys. In the American Hockey League this year, 24 points in 21 games. He went 13th in that 2022 draft. He was ranked 57 by Future Watch, 91 in the U21. But if you look at points per game, 37 and 77, 26 and 53, I could see some people moving Nazar ahead of Casper, especially the American Hockey League stats are really telling. But for this right now, I've got Nazar coming in at 10, 11, 12. At 13, from the Buffalo Sabres, this kid was outstanding at the World Juniors. I thought his stats would be way better than what they were in Buffalo. Buffalo's a bit of a dysfunctional team. Just 24 points in 62 games. Highly recognized by the Hockey News 2024. Future Watch had him at 6. U21, he's rated at 23. I've got him down because he wasn't as productive as these guys. They're all the same age. They're all 20-year-olds. He was terrific at the World Juniors, so that's why I've sort of kept him in here at this slot. Lots of potential at 6'1", 190 pounds. Next person on my list is going to be Jackson Blake from Carolina Hurricanes. 17 goals, 17 assists, 34. He's a little bit older. He's 21 years old. He really came on at the end of the year, had a good year for Carolina. Next, that would be 10, 12, 13, 14. Coming in at 15 is a defenseman from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Very dynamic offensive defenseman from the Western Hockey League in Moose Jaw. 75 points in 52 Western Hockey League games. 25 points in 27 American Hockey League games. That is really telling for me. He went 12th overall in the 2022 draft. 13 points in 45 games, but it always takes defensemen a lot longer to come along, and he's only 20 years old, so that doesn't really scare me too much. I think he's going to be a really good offensive defenseman in a couple of years. He just needs to learn the game. So Denton Mateychuk is coming in next. This one is a bit of a reach, but again, he's somebody that highly recognized by the Hockey News, and I've seen him score some great goals. He just needs to put the work in off ice and get stronger. The kid is a natural goal scorer. Just 6 points in 24 games. He could slide in your draft, so you could probably take him a little bit later. American Hockey League, 28 goals, 36 games, 19 goals in 36 games. He went 15th overall in the 2022 draft, and that's Jonathan Lekkerimäki from the Vancouver Canucks. Next up, again, a bit of a reach, but I think he's going to be fine. He's only 20 years old. He's playing for Dallas in the playoffs. Liam Bichsel, 9 points in 38 games. His offense might be a bit of a problem, just 9 points in 28 games in the American Hockey League. He went 18th overall in the 2022 draft, ranked 21 in the 2025 Future Watch 50. Again, 6'7" D-man. He could be your classic 2-4, 3-4 in Strat-o-Matic with a lot of intimidation numbers. So that's why Bichsel is where he is. But again, because of his low scoring stats in games, he may slide in your Strat-o-Matic draft. So this would be a guy to keep an eye on. Next, again, a kid that was really good in World Juniors. That's why I've got him where I've got him. Liam Ogren. And I always draft younger guys. I always draft and then I wait 3 years. So that's why a lot of these guys are a little bit early. I just really like drafting younger guys, and I'll sit on them for 3 years. He went 19th overall in the 2022 draft. He's 58th by the Hockey News. He only had 5 points in 24 games, but again, he's only 20 years old. Last year in Sweden, 19 goals in 26 games, which is pretty good because in the Swedish Elite League, they're all men. So that's a pretty impressive stat. It's going to take him some time, same as Marco Rossi in Minnesota. He took a while to get going. I would expect the same out of this kid. Hard-working guy. Could be second or third line center or winger in Minnesota. So I have him next. So those are my top 18. And I think I'll do one more round and look at 19 and 20. And again, 19 and 20, these are going to be a bit of a reach. And I'm not even sure about my number 20. I may just move him. This is sort of your mock draft number 1. Number 19 is Brennan Othman. Again, another guy that stood out, a real power forward, 6 feet, 192. He was fantastic in World Juniors. He's got to work on his feet. I think the encouraging thing, he had 20 points in 27 American Hockey League games, 12 goals. He went 16th overall, 45 in Future Watch, 29. It's never good when they go back like that. 22 games with the Rangers. He only had 2 assists, but he played fourth line, not getting a lot of minutes. Rangers are a pretty deep team. This is a kid that could take a while, kind of like a Lawson Krause out of Arizona. Some offensive potential and a big body. So I've got him at 19. My number 20 is a guy, he was so good at World Juniors. And then the next year at World Juniors, he kind of stunk the joint out. He went in the 2020 draft. He went 11th overall. There could be some issues with him in terms of being a head case. Asked for a trade out of Nashville as Saros was blocking his way. Didn't play great in San Jose. 13 games, 310 goals against, 896. In the American Hockey League, 239, 911 save percentage. That's not too bad. He was 8 in 2024 and not listed in 2025. But I remember that 1 year in World Juniors, he was absolutely outstanding. I've got him at 20, but I can see him sliding down my list. I'll just go through the next ones. And for 21, I've got Maxim Stipikov, a 6'3" winger, 35 points in 77 games. He is 26. If this was my draft, I would probably pass on him and go for somebody younger, since I like to draft younger guys. But he's an impressive big body that could play in the top 6 in New York in the next couple of years, or he just could be a permanent third liner. He's sort of a safe pick. Next is Shakar Makhamdulin in San Jose. He went 20th overall in the draft, 48th on Future Watch, 34 points in 55 games. That's pretty good. 9 points in 30 games in San Jose. Defense numbers are going to have to come up a little bit, since that's not a very good team, but he could get better in time. 6'4", 200. He's a big D-man. Fedor Svechkov is coming next in. 17 points in 52 games. Another first-round player. He went 19th overall in the 221 draft. 12 points in 13 games in the American Hockey League. So that's why I've got him so high, is that he does have a nice touch. He may come on. He is a first-rounder. They're probably going to give him some time to develop. Next, I have Nolan Allen. I saw him when I was scouting in Regina. I love this kid. Big, tough, moves the puck. He's not going to be that great offensively, but he could be that 2-4 D-man in Strat-o-Matic. Makes that good first pass, and he's tough. He's going to get high intimidation numbers. Skates well for a big guy. Next on my list, Zachary Leroux out of Nashville. Went in the first round, 27, 48 points in 66 American Hockey League games, 15 in 62. Offensive player, doesn't have a lot of size at 5'9", 5'11", 197 pounds. Next three, Colin Graff I really liked when I saw him in San Jose. Big body, played well in the games that I saw. 35 points in 40 American Hockey League games. He may even go higher than some of these guys if you want to slide him up. He was super impressive. I liked him a lot. And I also have Levi Merilainen from Ottawa, 925 save percentage in 12 games. That's pretty impressive. He's only 22. He went in the third round. Good numbers in the American Hockey League. So those are just the next little guys that I have. I'm hoping you found this useful. If you are in any Strat-o-Matic drafts or PC hockey drafts, hopefully you'll find this kind of helpful. And that's it. That's my draft list, at least for now. Anyway, it might change over time for the 2025 Strat-o-Matic draft. Talk to you later, guys.